Hello everybody, this is BScat100 and welcome back to some more Miles Edgeworth AAI2 Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Path, the Grand Turnabout. In the previous episode, we had uncovered what we believe to be the truth of the SS5 incident. But someone isn't so sure, someone that we know very well. If you like what to see, leave a like down below, comment if you have anything to say, subscribe to me if you haven't already, and share with your friends who can join in on this investigation. That bell, it's Sarah Dogan! Why are you here? How can you just brazenly show up here? What do you think you are, pal? I found the conversation most intriguing, and I just, well... Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours? You're the one who killed Wang. Nostalgia? I think not. You were speaking about the person I am searching for. You're searching for someone? I escaped from prison in order to meet with a young acolyte. The one who wore the red raincoat. The red raincoat? Who is this person? I suspect that it's the same person as the mastermind you are searching for. Don't they seem surprised, Anubis? Yes, they are, my boy. 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life. Certainly it was I who killed President Huang. However, my life was also targeted on that day. Body double Blaze and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young acolyte. So your client was indeed the body double, who was the main perpetrator of the crime. It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now. The difference was great. While the voice and the style of speech may be the same, one can mimic the body, but the heart cannot be reproduced. I suppose his own weaknesses cost him in his quest to become a leader. Now that Rook's gone, I'm in charge. I'm not sure if you're as capable as Rook was. What are you saying? I'm totally the leader now. Perhaps the king and his knight were not so different after all. The devil believed that the president's only weakness was a woman called Amy. To find the woman, he needed the assistance of someone from this country. So he joined forces with Blaze. After determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity. That chance came with the meeting at the orphanage. Indeed, the director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice. He must be referring to Patricia Rowland. Well, given what I've told you, do you realize the whereabouts of the young acolyte now? You mean the boy who saved you? But how do you know that he's the mastermind? That day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage. You're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank? A prank? Not at all. On that night 12 years ago, the young acolyte was hiding inside the igloo. It seemed he witnessed Patricia and Blaze moving the body from its hiding place. Apparently, he heard them talking during that time. It would seem that they were planning to kill me because I knew the truth. He immediately came to the main hall to tell me that. I learned this about the young acolyte sometime later. It seems he was wearing a red raincoat at the time. He led me out of the main hall. And then the young acolyte said he was going to get rid of our footprints. So he scattered some lamp oil near the igloo over the snow. Then he boldly set the oil ablaze. No way, so he set that fire in order to... All of their focus was diverted towards the burning flames. I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit. So the boy in the red raincoat is the mastermind behind this case. Exactly. Isn't that right, Anubis? Yes, boy, yes it is. Certainly it was I who killed President Huang. Hold it! You admitted that rather easily. These days I have long grown tired of killing. But in those halcyon days, I have devoted myself to the path of an executioner. If one cannot admit that much, what can he admit? Right, Anubis? Yes, yes, my boy. I feel like he's saying something scary, but it's kind of hard to understand him. This fallen priest is saying that he has no feelings about the president's death. Dogen, the assassin and the escaped prisoner. He should be a despicable opponent, but silencing him now would be imprudent. I must keep my composure and let him talk. I understand your points. You killed the president. That is correct. The aim of my blade never misses its mark. However, my life was also targeted on that day. Hold it! Your life was targeted. You, the assassin. The hunter becomes the hunted. The Buddhist becomes the Buddha. Okay, you don't have to make up strange proverbs. Life is transient, especially for an assassin whose life is always exposed to danger. So does that mean people you've tried to kill have fought back? That is a rare occurrence. However, this was different. The body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to see my lips. Hold it! Sirin Dogen, you are a master assassin. As such, could you not have evaded an attack from those three and fled the scene? You greatly overestimate me. Without Anubis by my side, I would not even be able to walk about. If those three were to attack me at once, I would not stand a chance. I see, so even an assassin will fall to superior numbers in a frontal assault. I suppose one could say that. I, Sirin Dogen, would have suffered a shameful defeat. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. Hold it! Reunited? So, when did you first meet with him? That would be 18 years ago, on the 24th of December. That is a rather long time ago. On that day, our roles were reversed. I saved the young one's life. There was an unusual snowstorm on that day. The temperature was well below freezing. I took Anubis for a walk in the snow. That's when Anubis noticed something and started running. I followed after him and found a car. I had great difficulty opening the door. It had frozen shut. In the back seat there were two young children, shivering from the cold. 2 children. Had they remained in the car for an hour longer, they surely would have frozen to death. I brought the 2 of them to a nearby orphanage. Is there anything about Dogen's story that concerns me? I guess there is something. What concerns me is... There were 2 children in the car. You're sure of that? It may have been 18 years ago, but I remember it clearly. There were 2 children in the car, there was no mistaking it. Does the good prosecutor have a problem with that number? Right now, the number of children isn't what I have a problem with. Are we done talking about this subject yet? What concerns me is... The 24th of December, 18 years ago. Are you sure about that? There is no mistake. There is no mistake. Could that mean... I know. The significance behind that date. What shows the significance on the date when Dogen found the children? None other than the IS-7 incidents, taking place 18 years ago on the 24th of December. Take that! That day, a certain incident occurred. A sculptor was murdered. During that incident, 2 young boys went missing. The sons of the victim, Isaac Dover, and the culprit, Dane Gustavia. We never did find out what happened when those 2 boys went after the case 18 years ago. Well, they were the sons of the victim and the culprit. It all makes sense now. What makes sense? One of the youths was bound so that he could not move. Mr. Dover did that so that Mr. Gustavia's son couldn't come to the contest venue. Indeed, Gustavia was using his own son as a taste tester. To think that was what transpired. Neither child seemed to recall what had happened. They lost their memories. The acolyte told me this when we were reunited 12 years ago. The pair were placed in an extreme situation, on the verge of freezing to death. That trauma led them both to suffer from amnesia. Neither could so much as remember his own name. So they didn't even know that they were the sons of Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia. Indeed, while we cannot say it conclusively, the probability is quite high. However, we still don't have enough information to deduce the mastermind's identity. Dogen, would you please continue your story? Very well. Dogen and the Acolyte. I continued my correspondence with the young Acolyte even after entering prison. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt, however. Left me quite concerned. Furthermore, these involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into incidents one by one. I grew more and more curious, so I absconded briefly from prison. Those involved 12 years ago were Patricia Rowland, Blaise de Best, and President Huang's body double. And Miss Rowland was the warden of Mr. Dogen's prison. I blackmailed the warden. That woman had tried to kill me. Perhaps the good prosecutor has already deduced the reason. You murdered President Huang. However, the world still believed he was alive. If you were able to prove the president was a fake, both Patricia Rowland and Blaise de Best would have been in danger. That is correct, and I had heard the proof with my own ears.
My apologies, but I'm presently waiting for someone.
I am well aware of that, President Huang. Are you not meeting with your son? However, I do not spill blood needlessly. You may relax. I seek only the president's life.
It cannot be. But please wait. I'm just about to meet my son for the first time. I'm sure this will be the first and the last time. Please, at least wait until we are finished.
I thought the president would beg for his life, but he was of a different sort. Officially, the president had no son. However, he shook his head and said, this illegitimate son was his, and he intended to recognize him publicly. Furthermore, he claimed that he had already made preparations towards that end. Would that son of his be the boy with the horns over there by any chance? Boy with the horns? Wait, you can see John's horns? There's no need to see them. From the moment I escaped from prison until now, I've been closely lending an ear to your voices. You said that the president made preparations towards recognizing his son. But the word preparations alone would be insufficient for blackmail. That's it! There's one thing that could prove Wang's words. The will held by House of Lang. It was also proof of his trust in us. His son's existence would have been revealed to the world. The name on the recording, the mention of preparations, and the will in Zhang Fa. Together, they suffice to make the warden bow to my words. With those 3 pieces of information, one could prove the identity of the double. By using John. The president blocked the first strike of my knife with something soft. As a piece of it fell atop the snow, I struck once more. This time the blow proved fatal. Sturgeon cut off the Mozilla doll's horn. None but I heard his final words. Only myself and that child knew of the president's secret son. I continued my correspondence with the young acolyte, even entering prison.
Hold it!
In other words, you contacted him from prison. That is correct. A post office box was used. A post office box? It would allow one to send and receive letters without revealing the recipient's location. I could not use a form of correspondence that would reveal the acolyte's location. There was someone keeping watch over my correspondences after all. It must mean the prison warden, Patricia Rowland. Could you be more specific about the nature of your correspondences? Well, they were mainly moves for my correspondence chess match. Correspondence chess? If I recall, the person you were playing against... This might be hard to believe, but Dogen's chess opponent was... Are you saying he was playing against Mr. Knightley? Wasn't it Horace Knightley? We certainly found the correspondence chess memo in Knightley's cell. That's coming back.
Does that mean Knightley boy was the kid from the IS-7 incident?
Could that really be true? Is there any evidence connecting Knightley to the IS-7 incident? Well, I'm but certain there's a connection between Knightley and Dogen. Dogen's chess partner, whose identity remains unknown until now, was actually Knightley all along. That is proof enough. Tomorrow I shall interrogate him in the warden's office. I shall get him to confess that he's one of Dogen's henchmen. That thing he laid to rest in front of the flower bed 12 years ago, you must simply retrieve it. Yep, there it is. Wait, oh no, the IS-7 incident. Not the other one. Take that! This was all that Knightley left behind. Could there be a clue within? Which should I investigate? The ring or the chessboard? This ring is... Mr. Edgeworth, what is it?
Mr. Shields, please take a look at this ring. This pattern is... It's pure case.
I thought so. He had Mr. Dover's seal turned into a ring. However, why would he have done this? It shouldn't have been held by police as evidence from the IS-7 incident.
After the incident, the seal was returned to the victim's next of kin, and Mr. Dover's only family was his son. But since no one knew where his son had gone to, it took him quite a while to get to him. I heard that the police had finally found him and delivered his inheritance, but...
So the seal was thereby safely delivered to his son. And then he turned the seal into a ring and wore it on his person. So, Mr. Knightley was Mr. Dover's son.
Police aren't fools. I'm sure they did a thorough check before handing over the seal.
If someone involved in the IS-7 incident was his chess opponent... Knightley, huh? Then that man must be the mastermind behind this case. But Knightley is dead. He cannot be involved in this incident.
How about that? The only one who could be the mastermind was himself a murder victim.
But a dead guy can't be the culprit, so there's no way that's right. It certainly is strange. In that case, who's the culprit? Abrupt halt, however. It left me quite concerned. Came to a halt, now of all times. Quite odd, is it not? Anubis told me that again and again how odd it was. That scary dog talked, or was he like something odd wolf? I can understand Anubis's heart, even if he does not voice his thoughts. Then there's something I'd like to ask, just in case. Your scared dog's staring at me right now. He's not saying, I'm hungry, I want some meat, right? Perhaps. Perhaps. Mr. Edgeworth. Seems not much good with the assassin's dog. Good boy, there's a good boy. So then, at any rate, my correspondence with the Acolyte suddenly came to an abrupt halt. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into incidents one by one.
Hold it!
It certainly does seem too much for a mere coincidence. The body double of Ji-Hu Wang, the president of Zhang Fa, faked an assassination plot. President Roland, the prison warden, murdered Horace Knightley, and Blazer Best, the chairman of the PIC, murdered Jill Crane. Come to think of it, as I have been investigating those cases, I have felt the presence of some force behind the scenes. Even with the prison, I could tell this was no insignificant event. I grew more and more curious, and so I absconded briefly from the prison.
Hold it! You absconded briefly from prison? I cannot forgive such a criminal act!
You stole your way out of a prison. I cannot forgive such a thieving act. Relax. No one was hurt. I merely have connections that allow me to set foot outside.
But even so, you can't just escape from prison, pal! Arrest him! Arrest him!
It won't be necessary. Once my business is done, I shall return to my cell.
You're trying to make fools of us? Prison isn't the kind of place you can just enter and leave at will.
The wolf may say that. But one cannot see the wolf in his pack. But one can see that the wolf and his pack also share an interest in the tales of my past. Agent Lang, Detective Gumshoe. There are still a few things I must ask Dogen. Please postpone the matters until then. Yes, sir. I need to say that, Mr. Edgeworth.
Damn it all. I'm not taking my eye off you for a second.
Oh? This wasn't here before. Writing letters in Braille can be an enjoyable pastime.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but you wrote your letters in Braille. Indeed, for I possess the tools necessary to write in Braille. Wow, so you need to use tools to write in Braille. I never knew. Then would you please tell us what you wrote? Everything. Letters, of course, and also the movements of the chess pieces. He wrote the movements of the chess pieces by hand. That statement is intriguing. How does your handmade dog piece move? Okay, that question can wait. So then, what did you do when the letters stopped coming? Within the prison, I grew increasingly concerned about the Acolyte's whereabouts. Okay, but even so, I don't really get it. Who exactly is this Acolyte? Indeed, Dogen himself has not made that yet clear. What's important is the thread connecting Dogen and his Acolyte, their correspondence. And not just the letters, we should pay attention to the means that was used as well. Okay. Oops. It has to be that last one. Interesting. There's the correspondence chest things, right?
Objection!
Yeah, there it is. I'm certain you said you wrote your letters in Braille. Correct. The good prosecutor must know that I am lacking in sight, do you not? The correspondence chest letter we found has been typed out using a word processor. What? That cannot be. What do you mean? Someone went out of their way to retype the letters on a computer. Could another person have acted as a middleman between Dogen and Knightley? What do you mean? Dogen read his letters in Braille. However, By the time it reached Knightley, it had been rewritten on a word processor. We must assume that some middleman rewrote those letters. And the reverse can be also said.
That somebody may have taken letters from Knightley the letters Knightley wrote and redelivered them to Dogen.
That isn't true. That is indeed true. Knightley and Dogen both communicated through a certain individual. Dogen, with the letters that reached you, they were in Braille, of course.
The Knightley boy's letters must have been transposed by that same person as well.
Oh, so that is somebody must be the mastermind behind the case. You're saying there's someone else who's the mastermind behind this case? Then who the hell is it? Dover's son, Knightley. Knightley is already deceased. In that case, there is one more youth that we should consider to be the mastermind. You mean Dane Gustavia's son? But who the heck is he? If Knightley is Dover's son, then Gustavia's son must be... No! It can't be! Could it? Could it really be him? Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? You've gone all pale. I figured it out. The identity of the mastermind who's been controlling this case in the shadows. What? Who in the world is it? I don't want to believe myself, but it is someone we know quite well. The mastermind is... Simon Keyes. Take that! The mastermind behind this case sent a letter to Jill Crane, who deceived Blaze. Furthermore, he kidnapped John and eavesdropped on us. However, all of his actions, the one I have not been able to get out of my mind, is how he brought an unconscious Kate to the roof. The giant monster. Huh? Did you just say something? That's right. The key to exposing the mastermind is in the monster's true form. If you like, please come to our next show. I'll also be performing in it. The Berry Big Circus is always fabulous for fun for all ages. Miss Swift, there's something I would like to ask of you. What, you mean me? You said that you recorded the sound of Mozilla spewing flames. That's right, I ain't actually seen it with my own eyes, though. Could you let us listen to the tape? Sure thing. There we go. The sound, it's as I thought. So, it seems that my reasoning was correct. The true nature of the monster and the mastermind. All because all of my logic is coming together. Miss Hart, you said that you captured a giant eye on film, do you not? Sure did, right here in this photo. But we cannot confirm it like this. Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir! Lend us your film analysis device. Okay, but what do you want it analyzed, sir? This photo, please. I'm on it! Is there a new clue in this photo? Oh god, hi. Take that! Oh, that's a Eureka moment? Okay. This is... See? It ain't the Mozilla's eye right where I said it would be? Heh. I see. I have finally grasped the true form of the giant monster that was being controlled by the mastermind. Giant monster? Are you admitting that? You are, ain't you? You're admitting that the mighty Mozilla is real. No, this is not Mozilla. This is the eye of a different monster. Please have a look at this. It's a flyer for the Big Berry Circus? Ah! This is... Precisely. There's a rather large balloon with the head of a lion pictured here. The balloon is the true identity of the giant monster. In addition, the sound Miss Swift recorded, which she believes to be Mozilla spewing flames, it's a hot air balloon. Mr. Prosecutor, don't tell me you're gonna say something that'll shatter my dreams of a scope. Hot air balloons fly using burners to heat the air, right, sir? Precisely, Detective. The mastermind used this monster of his to bring Kate to the rooftop of the Grand Tower without using the elevator. Wouldn't that mean that the mastermind is somewhat connected to the circus?
He's a member of the circus, Knightley's friend, and Dane Gustavia's son. What? Who'd have thunk it?
An apprentice beast tamer. Huh, he's no amateur. For the beast he has tamed is none other than this entire case. Simon Keyes. He is the mastermind behind this whole incident. Mr. Keyes was really behind it all? No way. I don't believe it. I mean, we trusted him. How could he have been a lie? That's just heartbreaking. Okay. What is it? Hey you, stop! Where do you think you're going? The boy with the horns is rather perceptive. The good prosecutor has done a remarkable job. Now that I've heard that, I have no further business here. What? Wait! Dugan! Oh jeez. Damn it, where'd he vanish to? Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. However, that guy... John? That Dogen guy. He's the one who killed my dad, right? There is no question more difficult to answer. However, there's no use in denying it the truth. Yes, John, you are correct. He'll pay for this. I swear he's gonna pay. I'll make him pay myself. John, you mustn't finish that thought. Prosecutor Edgeworth, please pay us no mind. Sir, I put an APB on Dugan. All available police units will be searching for him. You heard the man, kid. I don't mean to be heartless, but we need to hurry too. So, Mr. Prosecutor, where's the mastermind right now? Agent Lang is right. Our top priority right now should be catching the mastermind. He said he would be practicing. He's most likely at the Big Berry Circus tent. But first, Agent Lang, I have a request. A request? What is it? Now that we've identified the giant monster, our next order of business is to capture it. The moment we arrive at the tent, I need you to locate that specific item post-haste. And Detective, I ask that you perform a follow-up investigation on the kidnapping incident. Roger that, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm gonna help out too. In that case, you'll be in charge of calling for backup. If he truly is a mastermind, we may require some assistance from a certain someone. I met him so many times, yet his facade always fooled me into sympathy. He may have gotten the better of me in the past, but this time I'll settle him once and for all. Looks like we're coming up to the end, which we know is not quite the end because it's going to drag on, or it's going to try to expand itself as much as it can. But we're going to end it off here. April 6th, 5:30 p.m. Big Berry Circus, Storage Tent. In the next episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path, the Grand Turnabout, it's time to face Simon Keyes. See you guys later.